Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about things SEGA are looking into and hopefully they're going to be hot fixing it or permanently fixing it later down the line. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to address is, of course, the Star Gem issue. As many of you guys said in the video that I talked about, where SEGA is going to be changing the rewards on the challenge quest. Instead of giving 100 Star Gems, it's just going to give us transfer passes. I know a lot of people sounded off over there. Most of you guys were actually correcting me, saying that it wasn't 50 Star Gems, it was 100 Star Gems, and that the cutoff date was actually a lot further down the line and not this week. But nevertheless, we made enough noise that the SEGA dev team is kind of reconsidering things. I think they're still going to move forward with the removal of the Star Gems from the challenge mode because they want to push people to NGS. That is SEGA's intention, to try to get base game players to just play NGS and only NGS so that eventually they can close the base game. That is what they're trying to strive towards. However, at the current state of NGS, there is simply no way that's happening because the base game just offers so much value. And to be perfectly honest with you guys, I don't think they should try to push people away from the base game. I think the base game is perfectly fine. The only thing that I would like to see more is just more support to the base game, to be honest. I'd love to have like mission passes back, as well as campaigns and the urgent quest schedules. I would like to see that all come back to the base game. I think it would still be a very, very good game. But unfortunately, SEGA just really wants to go all in on NGS. So at the moment, there is internal discussions within SEGA talking about the Star Gem issue and how they're going to rebalance things in NGS. So what I'm hoping to see, and I'm praying to see, to be honest, is later down the line that they add in challenge mode, but like an NGS version of it. Again, we'll have a universal ship so everyone can play together and everyone starts from scratch, because that game mode is fun. You know, starting from scratch, having to use whatever gear that you get from RNG, and you have to use whatever weapons. It really tests the player's knowledge of each class. You know, like for example, if I were to play challenge mode and I don't get a katana, or maybe I get a bow, for example, it really forces me to learn the other classes. And it gives people sort of an incentive to be like, hey, I don't know how to play twin machine guns, maybe I should learn a little bit so that I can progress further in challenge mode in order to earn a bunch of Star Gems. I think that would be a very good incentive, as well as add longevity to NGS, because that way people are kind of incentivized to learn all the other classes, versus right now where everyone just kind of sticks with their favorite class and there's no need to play the other classes at all unless you really want to go out of your way to do so. So I would love to see that come in. However, on top of that, something that can be implemented a lot sooner is, of course, all of the older content. For example, Geometric Labyrinth, for example, Ordinal Tower. I do believe there should be a weekly ranking system of some sort which rewards you with consistent Star Gems, so people will run this outdated content. At the moment, not many people are running Ordinal Tower because there's no real need to run it. A lot of people have finished Ordinal Tower, so there's no need to run it anymore. However, if you introduce a weekly ranking system which rewards you with Star Gems, that's a lot of incentive for a lot of players to go back to the older content to do it in order to gain a bunch of Star Gems. However, before SEGA introduces that, they need to fix all the bugs, because as we all know, with the weekly ARC record badges, people are always going to try to find exploits as well as bugs in order to abuse in order to get first place, and it's going to be even more prevalent if the rewards are Star Gems. So I would definitely like to see SEGA iron out all of these bugs first before introducing these changes, but I think that is a step in the right direction. So when people log into NGS, they're incentivized to run different types of content and mix things up a little bit, other than the good old combat zones as well as LTQs and all of the regular stuff that we normally do. Now, the Star Gem issue is not the only thing that SEGA is looking at. SEGA has finally started internal discussions about the Fixa system. So when the Fixa system was originally introduced, it was really cool, because it was like, oh wow, you know, you can get additional stats and it makes your weapon pretty cool, pretty powerful. But the main issue with the Fixa system is it's pure RNG. So if you wanted a Fixa 5 Fatale Katana, for example a Neo A Katana, you were basically praying to RNG, hoping that you get that perfect drop. However, the issue is the drop rate was so low, and so a lot of people didn't care about Fixas anymore, and that really sucks, because Fixas was a cool system. Being able to increase all of these different stats through the Fixa system adds customizability and makes players' builds unique, because you can go really far in a certain area. For example, if you want to go super heavy on the crit chance, you could do that with Fixa Fatale. locale. However, unfortunately, even though the idea was awesome, the execution was done very, very poorly because SEGA was just like, yeah, it's just gonna be pure RNG, good luck, have fun. And then eventually they introduced the Fixa transfer system, which was a step in the right direction, but it still didn't fix the core issue. So I'm glad that the internal team in SEGA is finally talking about the Fixa system and trying to rework it so that it can fit into the current meta of MMOs, so that maybe it'll add in a crafting system of some sort, or at the very least allow us to make Fixa capsules, for example, which could be tradable or something along those lines. If you guys haven't watched my Arc Trash podcast, the one that we did with thrift shopping, he actually had a brilliant idea, which I really don't understand why SEGA hasn't implemented yet, and that is to do with the relentless training. Relentless training is a pain in the butt to do all of it. So I've personally done all of it, however, that's because I'm a masochist and I play this game a lot, but the majority of players have not finished the relentless training. And the reason for this is because the rewards of the relentless training is very mediocre. So Thrift's idea was, if you finish relentless training, the one-time reward would be able to get a Fixa capsule that you can put onto your weapon. I don't know if he said capsule specifically, but he said you're able to put a Fixa onto whatever weapon you wanted. And I thought that idea was freaking fabulous, because that way, let's say your Neo A weapon is not tradable anyway, you throw in the Fixa on top, boom, you've got a Fixa 1, Fixa 2, Fixa 3, or Fixa whatever weapon, and it makes it a lot stronger, so it's going to incentivize a lot of people to do the relentless training. So I really hope that the internal team in SEGA is looking at all the different options regarding the Fixa system. However, personally, I would like to see it connected somehow with a crafting system of some sort, because with our current PAs, a lot of people are getting bored spamming the same 3 or 4 different photon arts. I really hope to see more photon arts be introduced into the game, as well as craftable photon arts, just like in the base game, where you can change the effects of how your current photon art works in order to mix and match things so that it fits your personal playstyle. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it interesting. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!